this morning and what Hawthorn have picked. Have you got any reason to rethink your lineup?
No. We're really comfortable. We're backing in our blokes and our players to play our style of football, and that's the important part. You don't want to get lost in what Hawthorn might or might not do.
When did Tom Jonas convince you?
Oh no, look, Tommy, I was pretty comfortable all week. Tommy was going to be okay. I mean, he copped a hit, but it was basically without being too short as a corky. You know, and they do come up, and they usually would be surprised if they didn't come up. That would be the simple answer.
How was his form today out there training with the boys?
Tommy? Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's fine. If you watch him run around, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with him, and there isn't anything wrong with him, and there can't be. You know, when we're going to go and play a prelim final, you have to be fit.
How much of a bonus is it to have a settled, unchanged lineup going into consecutive finals?
I think it's one of the real key ingredients to successful teams is that you have to be able to settle down, lock away with what you believe in and what you trust, and let them go to work. And we've been able to do that now for 4 or 5 weeks, and our form has probably reflected that a little bit.
Considering their forward line, how important is it that Tommy Jones did pull up?
Oh, look, I suppose I could simply say it's important because Tommy's a leader of our group too. He's on our leadership group, so he's a significant player for us. But it's not so much, just the one position he plays. It's what he brings to the rest of the team and what the team together are able to do.
I sense a huge amount of confidence from you in the last 3 weeks. How are you building into this one? How confident that you can get the result?
Oh, look, I'm really confident about our boys, about what our boys how they'll play and what they'll bring, and I know they'll play the whole game out and they'll give a good account of themselves. We understand that we're playing a great side though. I mean, Hawthorn are going for their 3rd grand final in a row. We're going for our first prelim final, so there's some experience in their favour, but there's some excitement in ours, I hope.
Ken, have you looked at that May game? Is there anything you've looked at that, particularly with the way in which you were so concerned at the end of it?
I watched the start of it again last night, just the first quarter, just to reinforce our pressure was there. And I think that again, when you play quality teams, if you can't bring that, and everyone will expect the game to be pretty hot, and it will be right at the start. So we've just got to be able to handle the pressure they're going to put on us, but we've got to make sure we're returning a bit of that pressure back onto them.
You excited to look at the end of it?
No, I didn't. I didn't look at the end of it. I know what the result was, but it doesn't count for much now. But I just wanted to make sure.
The way in which that game ended with Hawthorn putting the pressure back on you, and it seemed like you weren't happy at the end as to how that game finished up behind it.
I'm never happy though. That's the trouble. That's what I'm like. I don't like anything going against us at the wrong time, and I play to the end, and that's what the team does. We want to play to the end.
Over the past 3 weeks, have you noticed the players change at all? Is it built up, or a bit more nervous this week, or is it just the same?
No, I think they're pretty much the same, but the game does build. I mean, pressure builds from the, we step from home and away to finals, it's a build. And then we step from elimination final to semi-final, it builds. And now we go again, it's going to build again, and hopefully we get an opportunity to feel the build again for the next week.
Can you talk about those, if there's 10 moments, you've got to win 6 rather than 4. In that cauldron that is the MCG, how ready is this group to deal with that issue of composure and also winning that hard ball?
Oh, I think we're ready. I mean, proof will be in the pudding. It'll be what we were able to deliver under that fierce pressure that Hawthorn's going to put on us. But we think we're ready for it. We've experienced it a lot this year. We've played some, as I've said a couple of weeks ago, we've played some big games this year. We've been involved with big football matches, and that's the only way you get ready is you experience it. We've had some experience. There's no doubt they've got more experience. And we accept that, but we're not going to let that worry us too much.
With that, composure, I mean, how big a weapon is the excitement that you just talked about with his memory?
Oh, look, it doesn't really count too much right now and tomorrow, and it's tomorrow night when the game starts. And we've seen last week that we were slow at the start. We weren't giving ourselves every chance to play the football we want. And if we do that, we know that we'll get in trouble, and we won't escape it this time.
Would you have liked to have had a run around on the G today?
Oh, no, not really. This is our normal pattern, our normal routine. We don't change anything. If the opportunity had been there that we could have trained a little bit early, we could have got there without any major disruption, like we did last week. We went to Perth and we had a run around on Subi, but it wasn't a necessity. It's just something that we're able to do, and that would have been the same for this week.
Ken, you spoke about the added pressure that the players are under. What added pressure do you feel as a coach in the box?
No, I don't know that I feel any. Right now I don't, but I'm usually pretty calm and relaxed leading into the game. In the box I'm a bit crazy, but I don't think there's any extra pressure. I mean, we know the stakes, we know what we're playing for, and it's great and it's exciting. But I've got to, as the players do, we've all got to remain as calm as we possibly can.
Can you know that issue with Robbie Gray in the second quarter last week when Dean Margetts started coaching him? Have you brought that up with anyone?
No, I've forgotten about it until you just mentioned it then.
Do you want to ring anyone about it?
Nah, I don't worry about that stuff too much. That happens. It's part of the game, and I don't even have a second thought about it, to be honest, Rich.
Are you speaking to Robbie about it?
No, it's not even something I've even spoken about with him.
How exciting is the vibe around the group? Because there are quite a few boys that have never played prelims before. What's the vibe around the boys?
Oh, look, they're excited, and that's what we tell them to be at the start of the finals. Be excited about what we've been able to achieve, and be excited about how long the journey goes for, and let's be excited about playing in a prelim final, and let's understand that we're lucky. We've played elimination finals 2 weeks in a row. We've handled it okay. We're going into another one. It's elimination final. We understand it's prelim final, and we understand that the prize is a grand final. We look forward to it, trying to get our hands on the prize.
You spoke about the boys having a lot of pressure on them. How are you going to return the pressure onto Hawthorn?
Oh, it's the way we play. It'll be the way we play. It's the way we defend and how much pressure we're prepared to bring onto Hawthorn. That will be a real indicator for us early in the game as to how we're going, how we're handling. And we know Hawthorn, great side, well coached. They're gonna give us everything early. They've been around. They know what it's about. Our boys are going to have to get their first taste and experience of prelim final week.
But as you say, every game's different. What makes Hawthorn different than the past two finals for you?
What makes them different? There's not too much that makes them different. We understand Hawthorn. We acknowledge their ability. There's no doubt about that. And we acknowledge their experience. We look forward to opportunity to go up against them, as we have done all year against those top of the ladder teams as they've been over the journey. We respect every one of them, and we strive to be like them.
They're imposing, that anti-social football that was once their trademark.
Still is, I think.
Yeah, if they throw that in the face of your players, how do you want them to handle that?
Throw as much back as we can, and then just keep going. And play footy. Play footy the way Port Adelaide play, and that's important.
It's always difficult to compare, but you've had a lot of experience in finals with Geelong. Any similarities this week?
No, not really. I mean, it's a long time ago now for me with Geelong and what they were like. They were a powerful, amazing side, and hopefully, as I said just before with that question, hopefully at some stage we can get somewhere near the level of those great sides, and they've been able to deliver consistently over a period of time. We get our first chance in a prelim final, and that's the one we're looking forward to the most.
How does that shape your sort of way of coaching in finals? Does it change it, from your player experiences?
Oh no, I think I've got a really good understanding and a handle on and being around finals, and have been coaching in finals a lot myself. I mean, hopefully that's something that I can help the group with, but that's as a coach, not as a player. They've just got to experience it. They've got to feel it, and they've got to understand how they handle it, and they'll learn something from it. And they know, as I keep saying, they know there's a great prize on offer. And gee, I reckon if you ask any one of the players on both sides going out there, they'll give everything they've got if they get the chance to play in a grand final. We expect that from both sides.
Can we did that review of that first half and that slow start? What lessons has that given the players, and what have you advised them on?
Oh, I think it just showed that we weren't doing the stuff that we needed to do inside the contest as well as we wanted, and we were a little bit fumbly. We were a little bit nervous about what our next movement was going to be, and we just can't afford to be nervous. We've just got to back ourselves. Our best is good enough.
Is it that bullet that they dodged, that they still feel that?
Oh, I think they know their best is good enough. There's no doubt about that. I mean, people talk about dodging a bullet. I mean, the footy's like that every week. I mean, I've been involved with grand finals where that's happened to you, and it's not dodging a bullet. It's playing the game on its merits, and what happens in the game, you have to stay in the game. You can't worry about what didn't or didn't happen. You just got to keep going for every moment. If we had worried about what happened in the first half when we went out in the second half, maybe the game would have continued to where it was going. We just have to be able to move on really quickly, and that's what we have to do as a footy club.
Just one question, sorry. Training today, you've got a couple of hundred fans out here. How important is that for the guys to have that support behind them?
The Port Adelaide community are amazing for our footy club. They just jump on board like, I'm biased, like no other, I think. We're just an amazing supporter base, and they're all going to travel over, and I hope they all travel safe, and they're really aware of, the dangers of doing the trip. Is that let's make sure they go over there with the right message, come over and support Port Adelaide like they have done all year. And our boys, I guarantee you will hear the Port Adelaide family go to work at the MCG on Saturday afternoon.
Do you have a gut feeling about the result, Ken?
Yeah, my gut feeling says we win. I've got to say that, surely. I expect that our boys will play well, and I know what prelims are. Prelims are close games, and they're separated by very, very small margins. And hopefully, at the end of the day, we have that small margin in our favour.
Last 3 seasons you've gone one better, Ken. Making it to this stage, is this enough, or you won't be satisfied till you get there?
Yeah, it's a bad question to ask a coach. Probably it's not enough. Definitely not enough. We are not stopping. We are, 3 weeks ago, we're having a crack. We're still going after the same thing, and that prize is still there for us to get.
Will you be watching tonight?
Yep.
How do you see that game playing out?
Yeah, it'll be like, hopefully it'll be like our game. It'll be a tough, great game of football. Both sides worthy to be in that position, you know. And I hope they go really hard right to the end, and whoever wins gets a. No, I shouldn't say that. Whoever wins is really sore for the next week, and hopefully we can get through not so sore.
Given the team's been so imposing, either for 17 minutes against Richmond or a big finish against Fremantle, what's that Darren Burgess program telling you now?
It's not just the Darren Burgess program. It's the whole group of people that work in that program, and Burgo's first to admit that. It's, you know what it is. It's more than anything. It's a willingness to work to their capacity every time they've gone out and trained. Now that started back in Dubai, you know, and people they like, no, they don't. They think I pretend or talk about our run as something that's it's not manufactured. It's belief in what we do and belief in how hard we've trained. And every club's probably done something similar, but we know that we've put in hard yards. And we talked about it every training session. We had to train to improve and train to win. And if you train to win, you get an advantage at some point. Now we're going to call on that at some point. Hopefully tomorrow night again, and it'll be there for us.
So that belief factor
last couple
has to be surely significant after what happened against Fremantle.
I know we believe in that all year. We're not just because of one game, but we're a footy club that like to stay in the moment as best we possibly can and just keep making the next contest count, and that's what we have to do, and that allows those finishes to happen or those starts to happen. And Hawthorn are exactly the same. They've got great belief in what they do.
It's a small community of AFL coaches. How do you feel about this week again?
It's a brutal industry. It's not. It's it's a tough industry to work in, and it's as a coach, we all say that we go in knowing that the end can be what it is, but it doesn't make it right, in my view.
How do you feel you've been accepted by the Port Adelaide family? What do you make of the Yes We Can t-shirts?
Yeah, look, they've welcomed me and my family unbelievably well, and we love the Port Adelaide people just as much as they do us, and as a family we couldn't be more pleased with the way they've treated us, and hopefully our coming together is something significant for the football club over the journey.
And the t-shirts?
Yeah, you see my ugly face? It doesn't excite me, that part, but it's a bit of fun. I love footy. Footy provides just so much fun and so much enjoyment, and if I can play a small part of that and be a small part of that, I'm grateful that I can.
And have you spoken to Sam, not about a position here, but as a friend?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I gave him a call. Just one of support, and one that I understood, not understood. I was considerate of his family and himself, and how they must be feeling at that point in time, and I know he would have been doing his absolute best for that footy club.